Donkeys, horses, orangutans, whatever, if you have them in the zoo, if they stay in there, right? But if you go to a zoo and stuff, remember the Bronx Zoo we used to go to? It doesn't smell sweet and and rosy, nice in there? No, stinky, bun. Here's something, people. Jesus was born in a stable around animals. Stinky, smelly, but useful animals, including donkeys and other stuff. So, is it possible that could be symbolic of us? Jesus born us? Remember the angels came and told him, Emmanuel? Unto this day our son is born. Emmanuel, God with us. If he's born with us, and I'm taking a stretch out here, born with us in a stable of animals, not exactly the nicest smelling, but very useful creatures, cows, donkeys, chicken, whatever. Because there was no room for him at the inn. You see how this thing takes off? No room for him at the inn, right? They had no space. Everybody was in they had a nice bed and cozy stuff. Jesus, as humble as he was, decided to come be born with us in a stable, in a stinky stable with animals and livestock.
But I have a question. Mm-hmm. But if that time they were knocking, right? Oh, no room for you. Mm-hmm. But if there is a room, then he will be born in the room.
So that's symbolism again. And what did God say? If I knock, if you hear him knock, should you harden not your hearts? Shouldn't you open the door and let him in? They were too full. Take the house and the inn as actually your heart, your life. Are we too full to let God in? Now, it's in the Old Testament, but see how it takes off? Now we're bringing it to the New Testament. Are we too full in our own homes, lives, and activities that we cannot bring God in?
But nobody knows that was the Messiah is born.
But he gave them prophecies from the Old Testament. He gave them instruction. He told them when you're going to born. How did the wise men know to follow the star? They were looking for it.
But the people who own the inn, they don't know that that is the Messiah will be born.
Can we assume that? Should we say that? Because he did prophesy. Even Herod was told by his wise men, hey, Bethlehem Ephrata, he was, paraphrase it, Jesus is going to be born in Bethlehem. He told them from the past in the Old Testament. He's going to be born in Bethlehem. That's why the wise men, the Magi, were looking for him. And it didn't say 3 wise men. You mentioned 3 gifts of frankincense, myrrh, and gold. It didn't say 3. That came from somewhere else. Okay? You got to read the full thing. But he told them, I'm going to be born there. Simple, humble, and stable from the Old Testament. That's why you need the Old Testament to get to the New Testament. But good thing, good questions. So he's born there. The people didn't have room to take him in because they were too full of other people, other things, other activities. If they knew the Savior was going to be born, if your king is coming, if you're going to, when the president comes in the U.S., right? When the president comes to town, do they make preparation? Snipers, security, entourage. Excuse me, how are you sitting like that? Is the Google boy again? I give God some reverence here. Sit, you comfortable? Should I start with him? All right, the camera. I'll turn the camera. You never know the camera's gonna be on you. Right? Make sure you keep it holy, right? Also pick on the girls, ladies, cover up. So here the guys too. We gotta behave ourselves. So when a president comes to town, right? Everything is nicely decorated. Everything is you gotta get the preparation, right? A someone of high stature comes to town. You make sure what? Block off some streets. Make preparation. Block off some streets. Make sure everything works in order. Security forces in place. Snipers are here. Police are here. Ambulances are here. You ever seen an entourage, a motorcade? You ever seen a motorcade? Even at this time, they come with a lot of preparation. Now this is for human presence, human people here, right? They get preparation for them. Should we not have make the most majestic and elaborate reception for the King of the earth, the King of the universe, the Creator of everything, Jesus Christ? What does that tell us? That is a scary thought because he's coming to us to help us. We ain't got no room for him. We're too full of everything. We're full of the traffic of life. We're full of other things there. And instead, we said, I ain't got room for you. Do you think somebody can say, hey, the Lord is here. You can have my room, Lord. You can have my space. Yeah, take mine instead. But was anybody giving up their seat or was it the me first syndrome, the I in sin, the sin? Are we calling them sinners for being there? Because remember, they will follow the decree. A law decree tells them, listen, everyone from your birthplace, go back to your birthplace so you should be counted and taxed. Very significant in the times of history. They had to go back to their birthplace. Okay. But they had to be accommodated. Accommodations had to be made. Where were the accommodations for Jesus Christ? Where is the accommodation for God in our lives too? We always talk about this, we want that. Lord, give me. Where are the accommodations for God in our own lives? Okay? And then you got those people on TV saying, yeah, gimme. But where they accommodate Jesus in that gimme. Okay, let's go back to this stuff. So we said before, so Jesus says, right? He says, and this, you see how that's how it goes, how it takes off. You just know it ties to the other thing, it brings things to memory. So you said that Jesus says, he said to wait for him in his gate in wisdom. Wait outside of the gate, right? He said, where's the delight? Where does it say? He says, tell me 34? 35, right?
No, it's 34.
34? I'm trying to see, testing them, right? I forgot. 34, right? He said, blessed is the man that heareth me, should be listening for God. Watching daily, should be watching for God, right? At my gates, waiting at the posts of my doors. Like animals, we should be waiting daily for our daily bread. Listening to God, searching for God, watching. When is the master, Jesus Christ, coming out? Not the slave master. When is the master, the humblest of all humble people in the world and in the universe? Where is the master? Are we waiting daily for his word? Are we waiting daily for his daily bread? That's what we call the Bible, the scripture, like manna. Are we waiting daily for the daily bread? You should wait till we get to the book of Exodus. That's beautiful stuff. There's so much stuff to talk about. It's amazing. I can't keep it in. Okay? Where should we be when Jesus is trying to talk to us? Where should he be? Read chapter 34 again, please, if you can.
Blessed is the man that heareth me, watching daily at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors.
And man is man only? Hombres, or is it male and female?
Male and female.
So everybody, men, women, boys, girls, wait at Jesus' gate. Wait at Jesus' feet. Wait. Remember, like Mary? It's all ties together. Old New Testament. Wait. And for those who know the scripture already, great. But those who don't know it, listen, I can't tell you enough. Get a King James Bible, get a regular Bible, and read the Bible from the beginning to the end. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, it's too complex, it's too hard for you. It'll destroy your mind. Come on, I told you, I'm not no pastor, I'm not no priest, I ain't going to no seminary. I'm just a humble person saying, Lord, I want to know more about you, how this story ends. I want to know how the story goes. Anyone can read God's Bible. Just pick it up. There's so many Bibles out there in the world right now, and people just seem to be too busy. They're too full of other things. They have time to go search the biggest iPhone, biggest new computer, new program, new app. And this time, back then, the newest house or town or hut, they have time to do all the other stuff, right? Gardening, road work, lawn work, IT, whatever you name it. They have time for all those things, but to sit and wait at God's feet, they're too busy. They have no room for him. So he has to go out there with the animals in the stable. Now, did Jesus complain? That's not right. That's not right. Did he come in there and give a fuss? Let somebody put you in a stable. Let somebody take care of your house. You tell you something. You over there live in your nice house, right? You know what I'm saying? I think this is decent, right? I mean, God bless, right? But you in a nice house, right? You come to your home one day and somebody says, excuse me, you can't come in here. I need you to go sleep somewhere else. Let me put you down there with the donkeys and the cow and the chicken and the pigs. Let me put you in the stable instead. Let me put you in the zoo. Let me put you sleep in the, you want to spend the night in the Bronx Zoo? You want to spend the night in the Bronx Zoo?
No.
Why not? Animals, you saw them in the daytime. You like the animals. You know, like to pet them. You want to be in the Bronx Zoo?
Yeah.
You want to stay in the Bronx Zoo? Maybe he would, right? You want to stay? Yeah?
I would match with the monkeys. They wouldn't see me.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but he doesn't have moves. I don't know. But here's the thing. It'll be, some people might take it as an insult to be taken out of their nice, lavish, posh, 1,600 square foot, 2,000 square foot, big house. Maybe, you know, you live in some other countries, in England, you know, and see all of a sudden that you have a smaller house. But take it out of your nice, posh place, and you have to now live with donkeys and chicken and goats and pigs
if
in
I
a stinky
have no
place.
choice, yeah. Why I can
You can do it? You willing to do it?
I can be with anywhere if I have to, but if I have the choice, I'll go to a better place.
So that spirit is a spirit of humbleness. That you're willing to humble yourself and take a lower standing than the top place. So if somebody tell you go out, if you come to your home after work, and you come to go inside your house, and the sign says no entry, and you know that time will come when they will block us off from living in our homes. Just let you know, Revelation Daniel will come to be, right? Go live with the donkeys and the reptiles and the animals and stuff and all this stuff. Live in a donkey stinky place. You're gonna be here. And if you take it as an insult, it's one thing, but God didn't take it as an insult. He said, sure. Angel said, sure. God, he went and did. Mary and Joseph, they went in the stable. So at the same time, we have to be listening to him. This is the same humble Jesus that did the creation of the earth and now is here telling us we need to wait for him and be here for him every time. Just to listen to his word, watching daily for our daily bread at the gates. Like the animals, we need to be waiting there for food and sustenance and nourishment from God. Okay? We need to have room for Jesus. And Jesus is so humble. He said, even if that thing, so we should take medicine, take an example and instruction. Even if like that, we should be able to say, hey, I don't have to have the best car, best house, best room, best thing. I don't have the best, biggest job, biggest money, all stuff. I can take less, if need be, for God's sake. Just to get the message on, okay? So how that got into that, that's how the word comes, okay? You never know what you can expect. You're reading Proverbs, and you got New Testament, Matthew, and stuff in between. I want to get to that at some point, but let's talk about this. Okay, get back to verse. Let us get back. Sorry if I'm sounding kind of bossy here. You know, to mansplain on me. See, verse 35. But now there was wait at the post. Verse 35. For whoso findeth me wisdom findeth life, God says, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. But he that sinneth against me. Wait, what? But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death. How we got to that? When we just talking about wisdom and waiting at God's post and getting daily food, what were you just talking about that? How we got to death and hate me? 35. For means that everything you see before, listen to everything, put it all together. For whoso findeth me, that means you got to be looking for God. If you find at me, waiting for him, looking at the days. Remember, I said, blessed is a man and woman that heareth me. Listen first from the word. Watching daily. I'm looking daily for God's return, God's return, God's work, God's duty at my gates, waiting at the post of my doors. You should be waiting for God, right? He said, yeah, we should be, right? Right, we should, right? We acknowledge that. Now he says, it's conditional. He said, that. Now go to verse 35. He said, for